Welcome to Cohorts.
Imagine you're trying to fill a bucket. Water pours in fast, so from a distance, it looks like you're making great progress. But if you look closer, there are huge holes in the bottom, and that water is spilling right back out. If you only measure the water coming from the hose, you'd think you're doing great. You're completely blind to the fact that the bucket itself is barely holding anything. This is exactly what happens to a lot of businesses. Take a fitness app called Pulse. This chart shows their total active users, and that line shooting straight up means they are celebrating a massive surge in signups. But that top-line number is hiding a serious problem. Pulse is acquiring new users so fast that it covers up a massive leak. People are downloading the app and then almost immediately dropping it. Relying on a single average metric is dangerous. A steady overall retention rate might look healthy on paper, but it can easily mask a fire underneath, where your older users are leaving in droves, and only a flood of brand new signups is keeping the numbers afloat. To find out what's really going on, we have to stop looking at everybody all at once. We need a diagnostic tool that groups people together based on when they arrived, letting us track them over time. We need cohort analysis. When you evaluate users based on their specific starting point, you strip away the illusion of new growth. You see exactly who sticks around, who is drifting away, and exactly when they leave. This grid shows how we build that picture. A cohort is simply a group of users who share a starting point. Let's take everyone who signed up for Pulse in January. In month 0, their very first month, we have 100% of that group. Now we read across the row to track that specific group over time. By month 1, only 62% are left. By month 2, it drops to 48%, and by month 3, down to 40%. Those surviving numbers represent retention. It is simply the percentage of our original January group that is still actively using the app in the months that follow. As the timeline moves to the right, the numbers naturally shrink and the colors fade. It shows the exact pace at which users lose interest and stop coming back. By isolating just this one starting group, the blurry total falls away. We can clearly see a steady downward slide that the overall user count was completely hiding. Of course, businesses don't just acquire users once. To see the full picture, we stack our newer groups below the first one. Here's the cohort of people who joined in February, and below that, the people who joined in March. While reading across tracks a single group over time, reading down a vertical column lets us compare different cohorts when they were at the exact same age in their life cycle. Looking down the month 1 column, we can see the March group actually held on a little better in their first month than the January group did. You'll notice a staircase of blank space forming on the right side, giving the data a triangle shape. That's just because our newer cohorts haven't existed long enough yet to reach month 2 or month 3. Now we look for churn, the catastrophic loss of users who stop coming back entirely. If we scan Pulse's grid, a massive problem jumps right out. By month 2, every single cohort is cratering, dropping below 20%. The data reveals a clear and persistent failure. It doesn't matter if a user signed up in the dead of winter or early spring. Once they hit their second month, they abandoned the app. Pulse thought they were thriving because their total numbers were going up, but breaking the data into cohorts exposed the truth. They were bleeding users almost as fast as they could find them. Because the cohort grid isolated the drop-off to month 2, the team at Pulse knew exactly where to focus. By investigating that specific 60-day window, they discovered their initial setup was too complex and decided to overhaul the onboarding process. To see if the fix worked, we track the newest signups. In our new April row, month 2 retention holds strong at 45%. Compare that dark blue square to the faded numbers above it. New users are retaining at double the rate. Cohorts identify the exact moment a product breaks down and provide the evidence needed to see if a fix actually worked. But a tool this precise has to be used carefully. If you set up your groups wrong, the data will point you in the wrong direction and lead to bad decisions. First, beware of tiny sample sizes. If your cohort only has a couple dozen people in it, the actions of 1 or 2 users will swing the percentages wildly. You need a crowd large enough to form clear, reliable patterns. Otherwise, you're just looking at statistical noise. Second, be honest about what you count as retention. If you measure a vanity event, like simply opening the app by accident, you'll inflate your numbers without measuring real engagement. Finally, watch out for seasonal shifts. You can't fairly compare a group that signed up during a massive holiday rush to a standard summer group. They arrived under different conditions, so they will behave differently. When you measure carefully, you can finally plug the holes. Instead of pouring effort into a system that drains away, you build a watertight foundation where every new drop actually causes the water level to rise. Because while a single rising average will happily lie to you about your growth, cohorts will always expose the truth.